Good morning. School year started and I've been hearing from a lot of folks about a number of things. I've also been out visiting schools already, and I get that heartwarming comment from folks where they say, thanks for coming to my class. I've been working for 42 years and never met a superintendent before, so I'm glad to be able to come out and visit in the school. Something that I'm hearing as I talk with teachers and as I talk with administrators, there's some real concern, and it's legitimate, I believe, about acuity, about these assessments that we've asked you to do. And as I've listened to those, and I'm getting the feel for those, it's clear to me that there's a misunderstanding, and that's what I'd like to talk about today and model, perhaps, or do a role play even for this snapshot. We had talked about having a script for folks to read. There had been some thought about that, but then, I've done CRTs and so on as a teacher, and when you get those scripts, sometimes they're kind of demeaning. That, all right, now set your pencil down and turn the page over. So we'd kind of left that out, but my sense is now that perhaps a little more guidance of what we're thinking would be helpful. So I'm going to model for you what we're thinking about acuity. Okay, I'm going to do the role play from here. I've made myself some notes. I don't think it'd hurt any student's feelings if you make some notes for yourself as well. But there's a couple of points that I want to get across to these young people. All right, class, we're going to do something today. It's kind of fun. Fun for you, fun for me, I'm sure. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you laughing because here we are in the computer lab. But I'm going to ask you to do an assessment. Now, as you look at this, we're only going to be here for a few minutes. Not going to be here till you get to the very end. But I'd like you to look at all of the problems and read them through and think to yourself, do I know this? Now the chances are you don't know this because I haven't taught it to you yet. And I'll tell you why we're going to do that here in just a second. But as you read them through, so you get stuck on the first one, maybe, or the second one or whatever, and you say, I don't know this stuff, skip it. Go on to the next one. I do want you to look at each one carefully, because if you do know something, then I want to know that you already know that, so I don't waste your time teaching you something that you already know, or my own time as well. Now, we're going to do this a couple of times, several times during the year, and that's going to be really valuable to you and to me, and gosh, even for your parents. Because what you'll see is, yeah, this is where I started. When I started this year, I didn't know anything, but now that I've been in Dr. Bates's class for a while, you know what? I've learned this much, and now I've learned this much. Look at how I'm growing. That helps you, that helps me to know what you're getting and what you're not getting, and that helps your parents know what you're getting and what you're not getting. I'm going to plan what we do every day around what you know and what you don't know. And it'll also help me measure how effectively you're learning. Because I'm going to make some adjustments in what I do too, based on what you already know and what you're getting and how quickly you're getting it. So thanks, guys. We'll be here for whatever the period of time is, and then we'll be moving on. Read them through. Do your best. If you don't know it, that's okay. I haven't taught it yet. You haven't yet learned it. So, as I've talked with teachers and talked with administrators about this kind of an approach to the students, they've acted like that was the best thing since sliced bread. But that's the way we're thinking about it. Do these assessments not as a judge of you, not as how well you've not taught them yet, because we know they haven't learned the stuff for the year yet. But if they know it, I'd want to know that. You'd want to know that. So let's find that out, move them through, low stress, check these things out, and then we'll come back the next time and look what they have learned, and we'll be able to plot that progress and plot that growth for them and for you and for your parents, and that'll inform you and what you're going to do the next day and the next week in your planning as well. Please use these as tools. I don't expect you to have mastered these tools because they're new. It's going to take some time for all of us to get used to them. As you have suggestions to make, as you identify that, you know what, we don't need 8 numbers to calculate mean. We can probably do that with 4. That's a good constructive. I mean, I appreciate that. We're working with making some of those changes. So as you've got structural changes that you'd suggest or substantive changes that you'd suggest, please do. Send those into me. Send those into Linda Mariotti. We'll get them where they need to go and make those changes. Use these tools for what they can be used for, and that's informing you and informing families and children about learning and about growth. Thanks so much.